We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is round 2 of the Sleep When I'm Dead book club, and I have the honor of having the thriller queen, Hailey Hughes, here on my channel for the book discussion. Thank you so much for coming and wanting to participate in everything. I
Oh,
love that you said yes.
yes, I was so excited. I feel like this is going to be such a great discussion.
I know I have like really high hopes for this one. I feel like I was a little bit more prepared for this one, so I'm really excited for it. But we will be discussing "Lie to Me" by J.T. Ellison. Actually, let Hailey pick this one, and I think I'm just going to let all the co-hosts pick them for now on because I feel like I have more fun that way. But if you weren't aware, this is my book club. It's called Sleep When I'm Dead. I basically just have like 3 rules. It's got to be a thriller, backlist, and I haven't read it before. Oh.
Oh no. You're back.
Okay. Yeah, my camera's been doing that for some reason. I'm not sure why, but sorry about that. But yeah, thriller, backlist, and I haven't read it before. Those are my only critiques and things like that. So, I do have a few things planned before we actually dive into the book and getting into spoilers and things like that. But the first thing I have is I wanted to throw it over to Hailey and say, like, describe yourself, your channel, and how we can find you and where we can find you and all that stuff.
Well, I'm Hailey. My channel is just Hailey Hughes. That's what you can look up. I'll probably come up. I know there's like a random girl with my same name that was on Love Island. So if you find a girl in a bikini, that's probably not me. I'm the girl with all the books. And I mainly read thriller and horror books, some romance thrown in there, some contemporary thrown in there when I feel like being sad. But I am the self-proclaimed thriller queen. I gave myself that title. Nobody else did because I'm just obsessed with thrillers. And
Yeah, I give you that title. I love it.
thank you. But yeah, that's my whole vibe. I do a lot of reading vlogs. That's like my favorite kind of video to film. So
Awesome.
check me
out. Well, I have 5 other questions that I thought would be kind of interesting. Since I refer to you as the thriller queen here on BookTube, my next question is, what thriller book would you love to see as a movie?
Oh my God, this is so easy. The Last Mrs. Parrish.
Yes.
All of the summery vibes, like that would be the perfect summer movie for me. And the twist, obviously I'm not going to spoil it, but that would just be everything. The whole tone would switch.
That would make a really good movie. Who would you cast to play in that movie for, I guess, the 3 main characters?
Okay, so the mom, the like fancy mom, I would cast, maybe she's a little too old, but I was thinking Nicole Kidman, like bougie, perfect. I don't know who I would want the husband to be because she's so regal. I feel like you have to have a really regal looking man to match her, but also he has to look like rough around the edges and dumb enough to like have other relationships on the side.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that, but like, okay, I was picturing a very specific actress for The Interloper.
Okay.
That is Anna Kendrick because I really don't like her. I feel like she just looks like snivelly. Like she looks like she will sneak in and like weasel her way into a rich lady's life. And I think she'd be perfect for that.
That's so interesting. Now I'm going to have to like picture that. I would love to see that as a movie. That's a great answer. But yeah, Nicole Kidman and Anna Kendrick. Yeah, I could totally see that.
I think it was because The Simple Favor or A Simple Favor, Anna Kendrick played that kind of a character in that movie. And she was so good at it. I just want to see that over and over.
Yeah, that would make a good one. One thing I noticed about you on your channel and Instagram is your love for fashion. I know you did a video styling yourself based on books that you love.
Yes, it was fun.
How would you style this book?
Oh my God. Light academia. Like we're getting like the houses, the rain. It's gotta be fall. I would do like a white button down with maybe like a nude sweater vest on top, plaid pants, some combat boots, some chunky Chelsea boots.
Yes.
The vibe I would go for.
I see that. Another thing that I love about your reviews on your videos is your insight and opinions as someone who is working towards a career as a mental health counselor. What do you wish authors would and would not do in books?
Oh my God. I'm so glad you asked this because I'm very passionate about this. And there was some stuff in this book that was really not great for me. I wish that thriller authors would be more casual about mental health. If they had a main character that was struggling with depression, anxiety, whatever it is, that's wonderful representation, but it shouldn't contribute to any kind of twist or any kind of crime. It just doesn't contribute to good representation when you're saying, oh, this person's bipolar, so they murdered a bunch of people. Like, bipolar people are not violent. That's not a hallmark of the disorder. It's just a weird association that happens to come up in thrillers. So I just think it was more casual. And like with Lie to Me, it was mentioned, I tabbed it, on page 45 that the main female character, the wife, had borderline personality disorder. And then it went on to describe her symptoms. And that was nothing, that's none of the criteria for borderline personality disorder at all. What was described sounded more like antisocial personality disorder. And then later in the book, around page 302, there was another description of the symptoms, and that sounded like bipolar disorder. So it sounds like JT Ellison just kind of Googled some mental health disorders and randomly cherry picked the symptoms without actually looking at the criteria and the empathetic experience of what it's like to have that disorder. And that is a big problem for me. I really hate it when authors don't give it the empathy that it deserves.
Yeah. I think ever since I started watching your channels, I kind of noticed how like they use that as like a cheap like reason behind most thrillers and things like that. So, and I love when you mentioned like, this is what I have studied for. This is what I'm doing as a career. I was like, oh, this is so fascinating.
I actually just passed my licensing exam. I am officially done with my licensing to become a therapist.
Oh, that's so awesome. Congrats. That's awesome. So now you're like a professional now.
Almost there. They got to process the paperwork, but I'm done.
Nice. Okay, cool. And lastly, what is your favorite scary movie?
Oh my God, this is so hard. Okay. You're going to laugh at me because I'm going to go with the nostalgia answer.
Okay.
I love all horror movies, anything that's scary, but the first horror movie I ever saw, I was in 6th grade and I was at a sleepover party and we watched the first Child's Play movie, like Chucky, a little doll running around killing people. And I absolutely fell in love with the series. I binge watched the Child's Play movies like at least 10 times throughout my life. They're very nostalgic for me.
I've only seen The Bride of Chucky.
Oh my God, I love it.
I've only seen bits and pieces of the actual ones, but that's interesting. I feel like Chucky is so underrated. I heard it's coming out as a TV show. Do you plan on watching it?
It's amazing. I watched the first episode.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
My fiance does not he's not on board with killer dolls, but even he was like, okay, wait, the show looks really good. Like the actors for the most part are really talented. There's one guy that's like just heartbreakingly horrible, but majority of them are great.
Well, that's awesome. Is it the same actors as the original movies?
It's completely updated. So it's like oh, Chucky was like left in a garage sale from the 80s, and now this modern day kid is like into vintage shopping and he picks him up. Like that kind of cliche, but I like it.
Well, I guess we will venture off into our next little activity. I did a little last minute presentation of something. But it's which horror cliche are you? And this is for you totally answer what you would pick in the comments down below. But basically, I did some research on like the most classic cliche things that happen in horror films, and I'm giving you two at a time, and you have to basically tell me which one describes you out of the two that you would fall into.
Ooh, I like it.
Is it gonna work? Okay. So gets in a high speed chase against the villain, or the girl that always falls down when running away from the murderer.
Oh, I'm definitely falling down. That's not even, the high-speed car chase is not even an option. I get nervous when I'm merging onto the highway. Like, that is not happening.
That is so, I think that would also be me, just because, I don't know, I'm not that great of a driver when it comes to pressure moments and like crazy traffic and things like that. So I agree. Okay. Did I hit that? Okay. Still gets killed by a murderer who walks too slow, or goes to check out the noise coming from the basement.
Ooh, okay. I think I'm ashamed of this, but I think I would check out the basement because that's just the type of person that I am. I'm curious. I would want to go down there. Everyone would be screaming at me, don't go, but I have to.
I also agree. I think, I don't know. I don't know how people get killed by someone that walks unbearably too slow, but the curiosity in me from the basement would definitely be me. Are you most likely to forget the keys to the getaway car, or do you make the sequel and make the same mistake?
Okay, I would not forget my keys. I never forget anything, so I would have to just have a fatal flaw that followed me into the sequel.
I think I would forget the keys just because of the heat of the moment, and I don't think I would make it to the sequel.
Oh no!
I don't know. I just don't think I would. I think I would be the first one to get killed off if someone was after me. So. Gets lost in the woods, or would you be screaming for help in an isolated setting, knowing no one's around?
I would definitely scream in an isolated setting for sure. Like, even when it's futile, I would be screaming my head off.
I feel like I would be both, but I think I would get lost in the woods more. Because I think I would like, I don't know, maybe I would not want to scream to not give myself away.
Ooh, that's smart.
Would you vlog your scary experience on a camcorder, or would you later find out that you're the real ghost in the story?
Oh my God. I feel like since I said in my like pitch of myself that I like vlogging, I have to go with the first one. I would definitely say like in a vlog, oh my God, guys, there's ghosts. Like I actually did say that in a vlog like a year ago. Last Halloween, I was like, guys, I'm going to try to communicate with the ghost in my house.
That's funny. I think I would also vlog, especially if I already had it with me and was using it before the scary stuff happened. I think I would totally be that person too. So, giving away your hiding spot with a small sound, or magically become an expert shooter at the end of the film.
Ooh, that's hard. Because I've only seen one gun in person before, never touched a gun, never held a gun. I don't think that would be me. I don't think I'm that girl. I think I don't want to give away myself, but I would probably give myself away by like whimpering or crying.
Same. I would love to be the person that magically becomes the expert shooter, but I probably would like breathe too heavily or cry or something. Do you ignore the creepy writing on the walls, or do you pick up a sketchy hitchhiker?
Ooh. I don't think I would do either of these, to be honest.
Oh.
Because I am not one to ignore anything. I will latch onto the smallest thing and make it into something and overthink it until it turns into something.
Mm.
But also a hitchhiker, hell no. Even people that are like broken down on the side of the road, I feel bad, but I'm not stopping. I do true crime. I listen to the podcast. It's not happening.
Same. I would probably ignore the writing, but no one's getting in my car. Absolutely not. I probably wouldn't even understand like what's on the walls. I probably think it's like graffiti. So yeah.
I know Latin. So I could read Latin. Like every time they have Latin in a horror movie or they're like saying a curse, I'm like, oh my God, they just said the dog went into the house. Like I know exactly what they're saying.
That's interesting. And then lastly, do you kill a loved one before they turn into a zombie, or do you bury a loved one in an Indian burial ground in hopes they come back?
Okay, Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
I'm burying someone. Like,
yeah, I would probably do the same.
I would without a doubt bury Boba in the Pet Cemetery.
Oh, he's so cute.
She's like, please put me down. I do not want to be on this camera. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen Pet Cemetery. I've read Pet Cemetery, but that would probably, I mean, I probably couldn't kill someone. I mean, even if they were going to kill me in like 5 seconds, probably not. But yeah, that would probably be my option. Let's see what everyone else said. I'm just going to go to the top. Let's see. Hello. Forgot it was the 19th. No worries. I did too. I've been writing 18 on all my papers.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, Sabrina. Hey, ladies, watching the last episode of you with the hubby, and then I'll join in. Okay, cool. I forgot that you came back on.
Oh my God. I did in like 2 days.
Really? That's my weekend plans this week, is to like get that show over with.
It's so good.
She's the one that's going to fall down for sure. The girl who falls down and the one who checks out the noise. I'm too nosy. Yeah, I'm very nosy. Still gets killed by the murderer who walks too slow because I was probably hide then find me. Oh, okay. Hid then find me. Wait, hide then find me? Forgetting the keys. I would totally forget the keys. Lost in the woods. Gets lost in the woods. Just found out there's a cemetery in the woods next to my house. Oh, that's creepy.
Oh my God.
Is it like abandoned? That would be even creepier. Giving away my hiding spot, ignoring the creepy walls because you're clueless is what you said. Ignoring the creepy writing. That's funny. Okay. I have one more activity that would be fun, and then we can dive into the book. I did this on my last episode and I really liked it, but it is like one-liners. So I'm going to read, I actually checked out your Goodreads day and I picked out 7 books and I'm going to read you the first sentence and you have to tell me what book you think it is.
Oh, I'm going to have no idea.
And these were all 5-star ratings that you did.
Oh.
The first one's kind of not a really good one, but it just says a monster.
Wait.
And of course, if you're in the comments, definitely give out your guesses too as well.
I feel like this is The Shadows by Alex North.
It is actually Pretty Little Wife.
Oh, I was thinking of like a monster, not a man monster.
I could see why you would think that. That's actually a really good guess. I forgot I have that book somewhere. I actually didn't like that book.
I know, you and your like dream stuff. That is the stuff that I love.
Which is weird because like one of my favorite scary movie franchise is Freddy Krueger, and he's all about like in your dreams. But for some reason, I don't like that in books. The next one says blank stared at the photograph on her computer screen and held her breath.
Oh my God. This is so embarrassing. I'm not going to know any of these. A computer screen? Oh my God, now I'm alone. The pressure. You're back. Okay.
I don't know why my camera does this.
A computer screen. I'm going to look at my shelves. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder?
It is actually The One by John Mars.
Oh, okay. See, it's all clicking once you say it.
I actually haven't read that one.
It's good.
I need to. Jennifer said the cemetery is abandoned. It's creepy when I take the dog out and it is quiet. I used to be afraid of serial killers back there, but before it was a cemetery. Oh, well, now you got ghosts and zombies to worry about.
Whoa, that's kind of a vibe, a Halloween vibe.
Oh, I think that would actually be kind of cool if it's not like, I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool though. The next one says it had been a lovely apartment building before the crackheads had changed it all.
What? What? Why did I give this 5 stars? What? Oh God. Lock every door?
It's actually The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier.
Oh shoot. I should have known.
All good. I think I want to put that one on my November TBR because I know you love that one.
I'm obsessed. Anything Jennifer Hillier, you can't go wrong.
Yeah. I read Creep by her last month and it was really good. I still like Jar of Hearts better.
Jar of Hearts is undefeated.
Yeah. If I don't know if you've read this one, but another one that had a very similar vibe is That Night by Chevy Stevens. It reminded me a lot of Jar of Hearts, but I think Jar of Hearts was still better, but I think you would like that one.
I'm writing that down because everyone tells me there's a certain Chevy Stevens book that I would like, and I think it's that one. It's called That Night.
That Night. Yeah, mine has a brown leaf floating on water.
Oh, cute.
This one, or the next two, I actually don't own the copies of, but it says, when you disappeared, your mother warned me that finding out exactly what had happened to you would be worse than never knowing.
Okay, I feel something in my body is telling me this is Pretty Girls, but I feel like you own Pretty Girls. Am I wrong? Who goes missing? And it's got to be a dad. A dad talking about his daughter. I'm going to say Pretty Girls.
Yep.
I knew it. If there was one I was going to get right, it better be Pretty Girls.
I had to throw Pretty Girls in there. Yeah, I don't own the copy. When I first read it, I had the library copy, but I love that one. It's very dark, but I do love it. This one said, those months, the months before she disappeared were the best months.
Then she was gone?
Yeah, great job.
Oh my God, look at me.
Okay. Light slices the darkness, jerking me awake.
Ooh, that's vague.
Yeah.
Awake. Is there something else with dreams? Maybe Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough?
I thought about putting that one in there, but it's Lock Every Door by
That one's Lock Every Door. Not the crackheads.
There's like a part right before that sentence. It's like a passage from the book, from the author that's in the book. But I was like, I don't think you'll remember that one.
Oh, hell no. There's no way.
The last one says, no house is born bad. This one may be considered horror. Actually, yeah, it's considered horror.
I'm in between two. I'm going to say Kill Creek.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God. 3. I got 3. That's not bad. I was really expecting to get 0.
I love this game, especially when I get to go like stalk people's Goodreads and be like, oh yeah, what did they rate 5 stars? And how well do they really know it? Okay, so I guess we can jump into the book discussion. Let's see. I will let y'all know. Hopefully those who are attending have read the book. So there will be spoilers. So if you have not read the book, definitely pause and come back after you've read the book. But my first question is, since Hailey, you selected the book, why did you pick this book?
I feel like I've heard a lot about JT Ellison, but I haven't heard any reviews of her books. Like people will mention them in TBRs, or I feel like this one especially, Lie to Me, is always on those lists from like BuzzFeed or wherever.
Yeah.
Like, thrillers you need to read. But it doesn't have a lot of hype. So I was trying to give her some hype. That's why I chose her.
Right. Yeah, I've heard, especially, I think this is the only one I've heard by this author, and I knew my friend had it, so I was like, hey, let me borrow this book. So, but I'm glad you picked it. Is this your first book by this author?
It was when I picked it, but right before this, I actually read, or I guess 2 books before this. I read Her Dark Lies,
Okay.
which is the 2021 release by JT Ellison. I just wanted to get like a feel for her writing style before I completely jumped into a book that I knew I was going to like analyze and pick apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that did prepare me because this writing was more like flowery and atmospheric, and it was beautiful writing, but it's definitely not like traditional fast-paced thriller writing.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely see the flowery aspects through it. Did you like the other, or you have a vlog about this one? So I was gonna say, did you like the other one?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I gave it 3.5 stars.
Okay.
So it was above average. It just like, it was one of those endings that like went off the rails. And
Oh,
they're like very realistic endings.
gotcha. Okay. Okay. Cool. If you had to describe this book in 3 words, what would you pick?
Okay. Mysterious, tense, and atmospheric.
Okay. Those are good. I feel like mine are gonna probably give away how I feel about it, but I put unrealistic, unclear, and then descending. Because I felt like at one point it just went down.
I know exactly what that point is.
Yeah. What is your star rating for this book?
I give it 4 stars, and I feel like that's pretty generous. And I think it's because the first half was so gripping and the writing was so great that I felt like I wanted to give her props for having a thriller that was so beautifully written.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the elements were a bit slow, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. I am actually giving this 2 stars, which I feel bad because it's my live show, and you picked the book, but I was debating between a 2 and a 3 star, but unfortunately, with most thrillers, the ending truly kind of makes or breaks it a little bit, and I just was not a fan of the ending. My next question is, were you immediately engaged with the book, or did it take you a while?
Okay, I'm going to show you my first tab that I wrote for this book.
Okay.
I literally said, wow, best prologue ever, ? Like I was hooked from that 1-page prologue. I love second person point of view. So when there's any kind of second person POV in a book, I'm immediately hooked. And I thought the beginning was so much more exciting than the end. So I was hooked. And then throughout the book, I would like continuously leave it for longer and longer before I picked it up again.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely think the ending or the beginning was really done well. Like you said, the prologue. I love second point of views. Gosh, I just had it. Second person point of views. Excuse me. Like I love like the U series and stuff like that. But yeah, in my notes I just put the first half of the book where we're reading from Ethan's point of view. It was very intriguing with the story, and I love how it's leading up to something more sinister than just a woman running away or going missing. But unfortunately, the second half descended and made me not like the story, which resulted to my low star rating. So, where did my notes go? Okay. My camera went off again.
I'm sure you'll come back.
Am I back?
Kind of.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
I think it's because my husband is playing video games and I told him not to, but he never. So what other books or shows would you compare this to, and who would you recommend it to?
I think this is the perfect weird balance of Gone Girl and Behind Closed Doors. It has like the missing person element of Gone Girl and the abusive relationship element of Behind Closed Doors. But I think both of those books individually are a lot better than this one.
Mhm.
So take that with what you will. But I would recommend this if you're looking for an atmospheric, fun, like flowery thriller. It's fun to read the words, but not necessarily experience the story, if that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, I totally agree. I put Gone Girl also Behind Closed Doors, and I also put The Couple Next Door by Sherry LaPena.
Oh yeah.
Because I thought the whole like family dynamic, well, especially with the husband, I felt like that was kind of similar. I didn't really put any shows. Obviously, I would put or movies. I would put Gone Girl, but I mean that's also based on a book, so definitely. Who were your favorite characters, if any?
I loved Ethan. I was on his side 100%. Every time there was an accusation against him, I was like, no, I just love him. Like, and I think maybe I was like being led in that direction because of the cop. I also liked her, and she was like very into believing him and not just going with what the rest of the cops were saying, and really giving him the benefit of the doubt. So I don't know if that just swayed me, but I liked both of their perspectives.
Yeah. I put the cop as well because I like, especially with her trying to get like promoted, I was like kind of rooting for her to like figure it out. But when it came to like, I guess like what was actually like the case or like the events, I put none of the characters were likable. Sutton's reasoning behind what she did seemed very irrational and unbelievable. I would say Ethan because his half of the story was the most entertaining, but he served as the piece of shit husband who lies and cheats and does things so extreme to get what he wants. But I don't know. But I definitely liked the cop, like you said, because I was rooting for her promotion and things like that.
I will say, I know all these characters are unlikable. I love unlikable characters.
Yeah.
I feel like I would rather have a character be so horrible and messed up and have them feel more human than not. And sometimes I like messed up characters. That's why I read thrillers, to be honest.
We like a good villain too, as well. So describe your feeling about the synopsis. Like when you picked this book and you read it, like what were your thoughts behind that?
I knew it was going to be like a domestic kind of suburban setting with bougie, rich people. So I was excited for that. I love missing people, especially missing women in my thrillers. It feels more like true crime, and I get sucked into the story more. So I was excited for that. But just based on like reading the sides, like I feel like you can tell that it's going to be more flowery writing. So I was nervous for that, but I actually ended up really liking that part of it.
Nice. I think when I posted my video saying what book we were reading, I had put Gone Girl meets like My Lovely Wife. I was kind of getting like, I knew there was lies between, or like there were secrets and lies about this like perfect married couple. And I was kind of hoping that they had like darker secrets than like just the traditional things, like they're murdering people. I mean, that's kind of extreme, but like I feel like with My Lovely Wife, that's very similar, but definitely got Gone Girl vibes and things like that. Definitely atmospheric. I mean, the cover actually helps too with this like creepy house and like the raindrops and everything like that. So tell me how you felt about this, how the story was delivered. Did it meet your expectations or was it a letdown?
This is hard because the first half blew me out of the water. I thought it was phenomenal. And then when the first like big reveal happens and we get into the second part, it was a huge letdown for me. I literally wrote on one of my tabs, I'm not having fun. Then the next one I wrote, I like following Ethan so much more than Sutton.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, what is this, like 60 pages before the end, I finally put, I need a twist. I'm getting so bored. That is not a great record of tabs right in a row. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. I had expectations that it was going to be similar to Gone Girl, but I did not expect it to be like almost exactly like Gone Girl in a way, like you had said earlier, it like a Gone Girl ripoff basically. I don't know, like yeah, it met my expectations, but it was also not what I was expecting. Like I think I let myself down basically. But yeah, definitely when it switches point of view to Sutton's, that's where it just like goes straight down. It was a little bit boring. I felt like some of the stuff she was doing was not that great, especially for someone who was able to like flee the country. I was like, why are you doing this? um, let's see. So speaking of plot twists, because you were hoping for one at the end, the plot twist that happened, was it shocking? Did you see them coming, or was it a complete surprise? And do you think they were believable?
I thought none of the plot twists were believable, but I was kind of able to suspend my disbelief. I don't really think of that in the moment when I'm reading. It's usually when I'm doing my rating that I'll think of the believability, because I just try to immerse myself.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so are we getting into spoilers at this point?
Yeah, definitely. Go for it.
I want to see exactly when I put this. Okay. Page 139. I said on my sticky note, Ivy has something to do with this, ... I think, ... So I literally predicted it.
Mm-hmm.
300 pages from the end, I knew what was going on. I was thinking that maybe I was wrong and Sutton had more of a role in the whole thing. And when we got to that part where we find out she was just escaping away to Paris, I was like, oh, really? I feel like that was the cheap way out. And I was expecting something kind of like you were saying, like a lot darker, like a darker secret going on, or like she staged the death of the baby and she ran away with the baby and Ivy was just helping her.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out Ivy was a lot bigger role than that. And when that happened, I literally ran into the other room and I was like, Cameron, look at this. I just predicted this twist 300 pages before it happened. Like, I was freaking out. I was very proud of myself. And I think that contributed to my rating, is I was just very proud that I predicted a twist.
I thought the whole time Sutton was just hanging around town, staging things, like when they found out that the body that they have found may have been her, but then there was a wig. I was like, oh, she totally planned that. So then when I thought, or when it switched to Sutton's point of view, I was like, oh, and she's in Paris. I'm like, okay, so she didn't have any part of this. I knew Sutton wasn't dead though. Like I did not for 1 minute think she was dead, because I felt like her character was just too important to kill off at the beginning. Let's see. I at the same spot, because I looked it up in my book, that's when I kind of knew Ivy had something going on. I didn't think she had that big of a role, just because I think that's when she like switched, like started changing the story. Mm-hmm. And things like that. Because she originally helped Ethan like figure out what to do, right? And there goes my camera. Oh, why does it do this? Okay. Am I back?
You're good.
Okay. It just like keeps spinning and stuff like that. Okay. Now I forgot. So yeah, I put the whole time I thought someone was really not missing or dead, but I didn't think she would be all the way in Paris, just, doing her thing. I thought she was setting Ethan up for the possibility of her murder while staying around town. Also, Ivy had thought Sutton was her mother, was a bit shocking. Like I thought that was a bit of a stretch. I didn't see that part coming. But I don't understand why she thought she had to like go to this extremes to like ruin Sutton and Ethan, and then also try to get Ethan behind bars and also set her up in Paris and things like that. So yeah, definitely not believable, but there were some like twists that happened, but their reasoning or what followed wasn't my favorite.
I think it almost would have been better if Ethan and Ivy were in on it together and were just trying to take down Sutton. And Ethan was just so in love with her and was willing to do anything to like avenge the mother that never took care of Ivy. Like that would have been so much more like sinister and even more believable than just Ivy randomly taking down this man. That was very odd and out of left field for me.
And then I also thought that especially with like hints of like him cheating and like his affair before, like I definitely thought that could have been it too. But I did not see Ivy being Sutton's daughter, kind of in a way.
Also, are we just gonna like ignore, like this was never touched on again? It was touched on once that Ivy murdered her father, like the high school boyfriend, but he was never actually her father. So she just killed this random man. That's crazy.
Yeah. I felt like that was kind of like brushed under the rug. Like, like it was just like, oh, so we're not going to talk about the dead body in the room. That's cool. I think you had already mentioned this, but Ethan versus Sutton, how did these characters make you feel about their choices? And if you had to pick a side, who would you pick?
Definitely Ethan, hands down. Especially, I already like didn't like Sutton that much, even when she was supposed to be like the sympathetic missing woman. And then when we met her and got her perspective, I didn't like her even more.
Yeah. I actually didn't have a problem with Ethan, even though he's like lying and cheating and all this other stuff. But I thought I'm totally team Ethan too, by the way, but I thought him switching her birth control pills to get her pregnant was like, okay, hold up.
That was dark.
Yeah. Even after they had the conversation, like, I do not want to have a child. Like, and then he just goes and switches her pills and gets her knocked up. And then the part that kills me is that he tells her about it after the baby's born. And then I don't know why he brought it up thinking she was going to be okay with that. I can't think of one single woman who would be, I mean, even though Sutton loved her baby, I don't know why he thought she would just be okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's why I thought of Ethan as more like sympathetic, because he was so blinded by wanting to have this perfect child in this perfect family that he was willing to do something so horrible and twisted. And I love twisted things. And then afterwards, he was a human. He was bothered by this guilt of keeping this from her. So he had to tell her, even though like he had to be delusional, thinking that she would just be fine with that.
Oh yeah. Like, and then he's like, you're probably going to laugh about this someday, but I switched your birth control pills just to get you knocked up. And of course, I mean, she didn't take that well. I mean, I don't know what woman would. And then I also remember that there was, I can't remember what it said, but it basically said that after she found out what he did to her birth control, she felt raped.
Right.
And I can totally understand why. Because I mean, yeah, that I feel like that was the most shocking out of everything. Is I mean, you get told like pretty early on that that's what he did, and then he tells her, thinking everything's gonna be okay. Let's see. Does this story affect you from picking up other work by this author, or I guess you could say your other book that you read too, because you've read the other one?
Based on both of these, the consistent things that I see are beautiful writing, great atmosphere, and not even a semblance of believability. And I feel like that's hard to balance. I think if I'm looking for something to get me in like a fall, winter, isolated setting kind of mood, I will definitely pick up JT Ellison again.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm looking for like a really fast-paced thriller that I'm hoping will be 5 stars, I don't think that'll be what I pick up.
I do eventually want to try out other books by her. I think I want to try out the one that you had mentioned. But I'm in no hurry to pick up anything. Like I do agree this would definitely, I mean, based on the writing of this one, I feel like it would be great for fall and winter. Like you said, it's definitely got that atmospheric vibe to it. There is one question, and I didn't put this on here, and I was so confused, and I had to ask someone else who read the book. Who is Josie? I never understood that.
I didn't get that either. Wait, where's did they talk about her? Because that's not bothering me.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't tab my book. But I was talking to my friend Gwen, and she thinks that Josie was actually Sutton's biological daughter.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
Well, I think it would make sense if they would have clarified that, but I was like, and then I did.
Wait, I know who she is.
Okay.
It's her Aunt Josephine that took care of Sutton. They just switch back and forth from referring to her as Josephine and Josie, but I think it's the same person.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't put those two together, but that does make sense. Did you have any other topics that you wanted to mention about this book? I know you had mentioned like mental health representation and stuff like that, but I didn't know if you had any bullet points that you wanted to point out.
Let me see here. It's definitely the mental health was the biggest thing that stood out to me as being just not well done. It really got under my skin. But there was one other thing that I was thinking of, and I can't remember it right now. Shoot. Oh, when the cop got attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he
recovered and they became best friends. I feel like that was inappropriate. Like, I don't know the ethics of like being a cop and having dual relationships, but like if you're a forensic investigator or a mental health counselor or a therapist or whatever, anything in the mental health field, you cannot have a dual relationship with anyone that you've investigated or interviewed or done an intake or had a session, even if it's just one thing. And I feel like she was on this case and knew these intimate details of the family, and it's just unethical that she would even go on to be their bestie. Like, that was very odd to me, that it was just, oh yeah, it's great, we're besties now. And no, even like a mention of like, yeah, this is kind of weird.
I think someone else had mentioned something that I thought was interesting about the cop. She said when the cop had the dreams about him was really funny to me. I felt like that was kind of like out of left field, because I was like, okay, no mention of you being like semi-attracted to him, but then you have like this weird dream about him. That's very odd.
Disturbing. It was like she took a total 180, and I feel like JT Ellison was trying to make us think that because she had this like subconscious attraction to him, that's what was motivating her to kind of stay on his side and give him the benefit of the doubt, which ended up working out. But then that brings up the question, like, now this woman is a detective and she got promoted, and what if she has that same thing happen with another guy and he ends up being guilty? Like, I feel like there were just many ethical dilemmas on the police force.
And especially like if she's working for that promotion, like, why risk it?
Right.
I mean, I feel like she got like a lot of like leads and like special attention to get her to where she wanted to go. But yeah, I agree. Very unethical. I mean, again, I don't know the logistics of a cop, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. She lives in Nashville area, so am I, and I've read most of her since they typically set around my area. I really like her Taylor Jackson series, and Good Girls Lie gives great dark academia vibes. Interesting. Okay. I didn't know she had a series. Huh. Interesting.
I love dark academia. I'm definitely going to read that one.
You've read The Maidens by Alex Michaelides.
It's my next read. I'm literally about to pick it up after I end this.
Really? Okay. I think I'm going to put that on my November because I want to do like dark academia type books as well before like fall goes into Christmas. I thought you had read it, so I was going to ask you if you recommend it or not. But you have to let me know when you finish it.
It's very split right now. I'm like nervous because half of my friends have given it 1 star and half of my friends have given it 5. So I feel like it's you either love it or hate it.
Yeah. And I feel like it was kind of like that with The Silent Patient too, but I feel like it got more love than anything. Jennifer said, I agree that it was more interesting from Ethan's point of view. Definitely. I feel like that's where everything happened. I did not like the major plot twist, or I did not think the major plot twist was believable. I don't see how Ivy could have been mistaken to be 14 years older than she was. Yeah. I was like, is there not like a distinct age gap between Sutton and Ivy? Like, but
that is weird. I didn't even think of that. I'm like the baby in all of my friend groups. Like some of my friends are a decade older than me. So I feel like I was just like, oh yeah, like they would be friends, but I would I stand out as being like the young one in my groups of friends.
Yeah. And like, I feel like if she was closely to Sutton, would she not have like, oh, you guys could pass as sisters or at least or something like that? Like, that would have never. I was originally interested in Good Girls Lie. Is that the one you just finished, or is that the other one by her?
That's the Dark Academia.
Okay.
All of her titles are very similar.
Yeah, something about lies and Lie to Me.
Lie to Me. Her Dark Lies and Good Girls Lie. Those are very similar.
That's so crazy. Let's see. I think Josie is supposed to be her bio daughter found via social media.
So maybe she named
her after her aunt, maybe?
Yeah. I think that's probably it.
Interesting. Still, they should explain it. Hey, Gwen, how are you?
Hey.
Awesome. Well, I am going to be making a video about my next book club read. I did kind of give a little bit of spoilers for my Monday reading sprints I do every week. But I thought I would end. We are actually going to be reading I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh. I've never read anything by this author. And my co-host will be Sarah Shelves. And we will be doing it Thursday before Thanksgiving. I forgot what day it is. I think it's the 18th or 19th as well. It's the 18th here on my channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I will have a video with like what this book is about and more details. But since you guys showed up for the live show, I definitely wanted to let you guys know which book we're picking up. So yeah, thank you so much for coming to hang out, everybody. And Hailey, thank you so much for co-hosting.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was so fun.
I had so much fun. I love that this book club is getting better and I'm just so excited. Okay. Well, we have almost made it a full hour, so we'll go ahead and end it. Oh, I see one more comment. Yay, that should be a good discussion. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. Yes, I'm excited, especially with new authors and things like that. So, but anyways,
it's so good.
You've read it?
Yeah, I give it 4.75 out of 5. And I don't even know why I did that. I think it was just like one small thing that really annoyed me. And I was like, not giving it 5 stars.
Now I'm getting really excited.
It has the second person POV.
Oh, okay, cool. I love multiple point of views. Like 2 or 3 is perfect, but I think once you get like past that, it's too much. But alrighty, well, we will see you guys on the next one. Also, I do have a reading sprint coming up Thursday since the last one wasn't very long. So if you guys want to tune in at 8 p.m. on my channel, definitely subscribe. Definitely go follow Hailey. I will put all of her links in the description of this live show once it's done. That way you can go follow her. She's amazing. The Thriller Queen. If you want recommendations, go follow her. But I guess until next time, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.